Hey there, Detroit sports fanatics. I'm Taylor Phillips, and welcome to Taylor's Detroit Sports on Spreaker. You can also find this and all other episodes of Taylor's Detroit Sports on iHeartRadio. If you have any opinions on everything that's going on in the Detroit sports world, call in or send a text message live on the show at 231-429-3668. That's 231-429-3668. Also, you can add me on Facebook as Taylor Phillips, online at facebook.com/Phil1DT. Like my Facebook page, Taylor Phillips' Detroit Sports page. Join my Facebook group, Taylor Phillips' Detroit Sports Group, and follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips.
And this is episode 113 on Taylor's Detroit Sports on Spreaker. Gonna recap the Lions-Vikings game. Also going to talk about some Red Wings as well, and Pistons, as well as some college basketball. And sorry, no Tigers off-season updates yet. First off, the Lions come back and hold on to beat the Minnesota Vikings 16-14 at Ford Field, and get a little help from former Lions head coach and Buffalo Bills defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz and the Buffalo Bills, who beat the Packers 21-13. to tie with the Packers for first place in the NFC North Division and thus own the tiebreaker, and move to within a game of the playoff of their first playoff berth in 13 years. The Vikings scored the first two touchdowns of the game, while the Lions' offense went abracadabra, poof, gone in the first quarter. Teddy Bridgewater has improved since the Lions have beaten him, grounded him on his offense to 3 points. In Minnesota a few weeks ago. But then Glover Quinn came up with an interception on Teddy Bridgewater. He returned it 56 yards to the Vikings' 11-yard line. And Matthew Stafford connected to Golden Tate for a 7-yard touchdown reception with 3:42 left in the second quarter. And then Darius Slay came up with an interception of his own, only to set up Matt Prater's first field goal of the game from 29 yards out to shorten the Vikings' lead to 14-10 at halftime. It was all up to Prater to give the Lions the lead for good, with field goals from 30 and 33 yards out. His second field goal came with 3:45 left in the third quarter, and then his game winner was scored with 3:38 left in the game. The Vikings had two cracks set that would have been a game-winning field goal, but the Lions defense made a stop on downs on the first Vikings attempt, and then they forced Blair Walsh to attempt a 68-yard field goal, which he missed badly, short and a little bit wide left. Altogether at the buzzer. He practiced a 70-yard field goal and made it. But it just clearly cleared the bar during practice. I mean, how often does Blair Walsh practice field goals that long? I mean, really. They are so difficult to hit. But anyway, the Lions need to clean up their offense and penalties. They committed only 4 in the game, actually. Those 4 penalties, or at least 3 of them, came in the first half, and the 4th came on in the 4th quarter. The Lions had a grand total of 26 yards of offense in the first quarter and just 89 in the first half. They were outgained 360 to 233 and recording just 11 first downs in the game. And they still won. Another thing the Lions should clean up is their special teams kicking game. On one of their kickoffs, they gave up a 51-yard kickoff return by Cordarrelle Patterson, who later got injured late in the game. And Matthew Stafford finished 17 of 28 passing for 153 yards and a touchdown and no interceptions. It is the third game in a row that Matthew Stafford has not thrown an interception. He finished with an 87.4 passer rating. The Lions forced just the 2 turnovers on the 2 interceptions and scored 10 points off of them. The player of the game, according to Tim Twentyman, was Jason Jones, who blocked a Blair Walsh 26-yard field goal. With 7:47 left on 4th and 8 at the Detroit Lions 8-yard line. Jason Jones also got a sack on Teddy Bridgewater. So did Ndamukong Suh, and as did George Johnson. They sacked Bridgewater, I think, 4 times in the game. So again, they need to clean up their offense, and they need to clean up their special teams kickoff team. They've given up a few long kickoff returns. But still kept their opponent from scoring a touchdown on all kickoff returns. And that's the important thing. Because otherwise the Vikings could have whooped on the Lions on the scoreboard 42-16. Mostly because of touchdown kickoff returns. What would have been touchdown kickoff returns. The Lions are 1 win away from clinching a playoff berth, their first playoff berth in 3 years. Last they did it was 2011. They finished 11-5 after losing to the Packers at Lambeau Field in a very close game. They head to Chicago next week at 1 and take on the Bears, who are 5-8, are struggling a bit worse than the Vikings have. The Vikings have been playing very well as of late. But their offense have really struggled against the Lions. That stout Lions defense, after scoring the first 2 touchdowns of the game, it took like 3 drives, just 3 drives to let let it kick in. But the Lions' offense, again, responded with that Tate touchdown and those 3 field goals by Matt Prater. He finished 3 for 3. The Lions are having 0 problems with their field goal kicking right now. That they might not need a backup kicker at all. After all. You can catch the Lions-Bears game next week at 1 on Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern on your local Fox television affiliate. And on Detroit's 97.1 The Ticket in Southfield, WXYT-FM HD1. And the Detroit Lions Radio Network affiliates with Dan Miller and Jim Branstad and Tony Ortiz and Dan Hasty in the WXYT-FM studios in Southfield. On to the Red Wings. They lost in another shootout to the Florida Panthers, 2-0 in 2 rounds. That shootout was awful. Most importantly, Jimmy Howard still could never make a save. Could not even stop a puck. Can't even stop a shot right now in the shootout. The last 5 shots he has faced, he did not stop. One of them went wide. At the second of 5, the second shot of those 5 shots in the shootout previously went wide of the net, and the other 4 shots went right in past him. Jimmy Howard looks like unconfidential Swiss cheese right now. He has now allowed 9 goals on 12 shots in the shootout this year. That is a dumpster fire. Nine goals on 12 shots in the shootout for a goaltender. That's a dumpster fire, and that's Bush League. Oh, I see. More of you people are really hating the shootout.
Crybaby! How long are you going to keep whining like a child? You're just a crybaby, a coward!
Get a grip already. the shootout's going nowhere. It's the only way that ties can be settled, that tiebreakers can be settled in the regular season. Continuous overtime can only make all players super fatigued and injured, possibly. And ties settle nothing. That's all I can tell you guys. I'm sorry, but oh, the shootout's irrelevant.
Not what I want to hear. What's your problem there, pal? Can't a guy get a bit of sleep? Don't bug me.
It's going to be irrelevant next year.
I want to hear. What's your problem there, pal? Can't a guy get a bit of sleep? Don't bug me.
That is a very asinine statement anybody can come up with. If you don't like the shootout, then don't watch hockey. It doesn't apply to you. And then they get schooled by the Toronto Maple Leafs 4-1 at Air Canada Centre last Saturday night. Oh, they were just tired.
Crybaby! How long are you going to keep whining like a child? You're just a crybaby, a coward!
Man, that was just a poor performance by the Wings. They also have to deal with 3 injuries. Justin Applicator, Danny DeKeyser, and Stephen Weiss. Applicator is going to return this Tuesday, probably. Danny DeKeyser as well. Stephen Weiss, well, he's day-to-day. Let's see. Have I an update on Stephen Weiss? He is out at least a few days with a shoulder injury, but not long term. That's good news. DeKeyser and Applicator, as I mentioned before, close to returning. Jonas Gustafsson is still weeks away. From returning. Peter Mrazek is abysmal in regulation and in overtime this season. Jimmy Howard, it's very totally strange that Jimmy Howard has unanimously outplayed Peter Mrazek in regulation and overtime combined. and that Peter Mrazek has unanimously outplayed Jimmy Howard statistically this year in the shootout. I mean, that's crazy. It's kind of flip-flopped around. Plus, I hate the fact that Jonathan Erickson is still on the team. He is a turnover machine, as one of my friends, Cody Richardson, pointed out 2 nights ago. And as I pointed out, he zones out defensively while the opposing team is scoring on him and his teammates and the goaltender. But I get it, Ryan Schuling. You like Jonathan Erickson just because he's the top 4, just because you follow the coach's orders.
That is not what I want to hear. What's your problem there, pal? Can't a guy get a bit of sleep? Don't bug me.
What kind of a sports analyst are you, Ryan Schuling? Saying a bunch of crap like that? Even Brendan Smith can outplay Jonathan Erickson defensively. Even Jakob Kindl can outplay Jonathan Erickson defensively. Brendan Smith and Jakob Kindl, 3 goals combined. Jonathan Erickson, 0 goals this season. All the seven points that Erickson has recorded were assists. Jonathan Erickson should be traded to either the Sabres for Tyler Myers or to the Arizona Coyotes for Keith Yandel. I am so sick of Jonathan Erickson. I'm not necessarily gonna demand all 3 defensemen to be traded. I just want Jonathan Erickson traded. I can't stand him. He is a total and complete bust. He is not playing like a top defenseman. Sometimes you don't have to look at statistics, but it's the way each and every defenseman plays defensively. If you watch the games more clearly, instead of just sticking to the top 4 chart so arrogantly like Ryan Schuling does, I don't even know where in the hell he got that from, but sometimes that does not matter. Anyway, the Red Wings look to get back on track against the Columbus Blue Jackets to start off a 4-game homestand on Tuesday. Then on Friday, they play the New York Islanders. Both games start at 7:30, and then the Wings welcome the Colorado Avalanche at 6 o'clock on Sunday, and then next Tuesday They welcome in the Buffalo Sabres at 7 o'clock, at 7:30. You can catch all those games on Fox Sports Detroit and on with Ken Daniels and Mickey Redmond. And on 97.1 The Ticket and the Detroit Red Wings Radio Network affiliates with Ken Cal and Paul Woods. Moving on to the Pistons. Jodie Meeks returned and the Pistons finally snapped their 13-game winning streak. It had to end sometime. They beat the Suns 105-103 on Friday, and then they put away the Sacramento Kings 95-90 when they could have held the Kings under 90 points at the least. So now they're on a 2-game winning streak. And people are speaking too soon that people on the Facebook group CMU Sports Talk are being a bunch of pricks, saying the Pistons are already tanking for a draft pick.
You here? What's your problem there, pal? Can't a guy get a bit of sleep? Don't bug me!
Crybaby! How long are you going to keep whining like a child? You're just a crybaby, a coward!
Yeah, forget all that garbage. It's still too early in the season to say stuff like that. It's only 24 games in. The Pistons still have a shot to make the playoffs. They got Jodie Meeks back. They're 2-0 with him on the roster. They played much better defense in Sacramento than they did in Phoenix. But their offense improved. Jodie Meeks finished double digits in Friday's game, finished with 12 points. Not all that great, but still good enough. It still kind of helps contribute to the Pistons' totals offensively. And that's good enough as long as that is in a winning effort. That's the important thing. Andre Drummond continues to be a rebounding machine. Josh Smith has been red hot. He's recorded 2 straight double-doubles, and so has Andre Drummond. Josh Smith has not been a bust, so I don't see the Pistons getting rid of Josh Smith. Where are the Josh Smith haters now, huh? The Pistons wrap up their 3-game Pacific Coast road trip in Los Angeles at Staples Center against the Clippers Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox Sports Detroit and on Detroit Sports 105.1 WMGC FM HD1 in Royal Oak in the greater Detroit area, and on DetroitSports1051.com and on the Detroit Sports 1051 mobile app on your smartphone, and on TuneIn Radio on Detroit Sports 105.1. Pistons are now 5-19 instead of 3-21. Thank goodness for Jodie Meeks. We'll still have to see how the rest of the Pistons season plays out, but I will stay on top of the Pistons all season long. Same for the Red Wings and Lions. I will stay on top of the Tigers' off-season moves, although they haven't made any moves as of late after making those 2 trades and deciding not to make a final run at Max Scherzer. So he's more likely gone than ever. To college basketball now, the Michigan Wolverines got rocked by the Arizona Wildcats, third-ranked, 80-53 in Arizona. Wolverines lose 3 straight and are falling apart. They play SMU Tuesday night at 8. While the Michigan State Spartans take care of the Oakland Grizzlies 87-61, I think. Yeah, 87-61. Western Michigan Broncos beat the Pacific Tigers 80-72. The Detroit Mercy Titans fell short to the 11th-ranked Wichita State Shockers 77-68. The Grizzlies pay their visit to Arizona and play the Wildcats Tuesday at 9. Actually, the Wolverines play SMU Saturday at noon, not Tuesday at 8. My bad. It's the Central Michigan Chippewas who visit the Northwestern Wildcats Wednesday at 8. The Detroit Mercy Titans visit UCF at 7:30. Michigan State hosts Eastern Michigan Wednesday at 9. And that's what's upcoming by each day. Well, except Ferris State takes on Bowling Green next Sunday at 1. Okay, now that's it. So that's going to do it for Taylor's Detroit Sports episode 113 on Spreaker. Join me for on Thursday for episode 114 on Spreaker and on iHeartRadio after Wednesday's contests. Take place. So, I'm going to get to bed. Everyone, good night, everybody. TTFN, ta-ta for now.